Hey girly pops, so welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, it has actually been ages since I have last filmed, but we're not going to talk about that. You guys already know that I might not be the most reliable YouTuber, but it's whatever. We film whenever we film, and so we're just going to leave it at that for right now. I will be talking about my YouTube schedule later on in this video, but as of right now, let's just go ahead and get into the glam. No intro needed. Today is going to be a little bit of a chit chat. Get ready with me. I'm just honestly going to catch you guys up on my life. I'm going to be talking about college, friendships, relationship stuff, YouTube stuff, all the things. So yeah, just grab a little drink, grab a snack, and get ready to get glam with me. So guys, this is not going to be a tutorial. This is all chit chat, get ready with me. So if you guys want an in-depth tutorial, let me know and I can do one of those videos. But as of right now, this is more so going to be me talking and just doing my makeup along the way. So I am going to go ahead and get started with the brows. Gosh, I feel like I don't even know where to begin. Like, oh my gosh, it's been ages. Let's start off with the fact that I now have all brown hair. Over Thanksgiving break, Black Friday to be specific, I had the strong urge to dye the blonde parts of my hair brunette, and so that's exactly what I did. I went to Sally's, got the stuff, and then just did the thing, and I kind of love it. I have had a long-term goal for the past few years to get my hair down to my waist, and so I really have been on a healthy hair journey of just trying to cut out all the bad things in my life to get waist length hair. One of those things has been to wear my hair natural more often. I would say 90% of the time now I am wearing my hair natural, which is something that I've never done in my life. I have only ever worn my hair mostly straight, with the exception of wearing my natural hair like in the summertime when I'm swimming more often and didn't feel like flat ironing it all the time. But so this is one new change for me. So yeah, I have started wearing my hair natural all the time pretty much, with the exception of maybe like once a month or for special occasions or different things like that. I've been oiling my hair, I've been oiling my ends, doing scalp massages, like literally all the things. And I had also stopped bleaching my hair. I had not gone to the salon, I think since like maybe March. I want to say around prom was when I last got my hair dyed. And I honestly was just like, I'm getting sick of the half brown, half blonde hair, and I just like, I don't know, I really just felt like doing something new. And so, yeah, so just dyed my own hair, and I kind of like it. I'm getting used to it. I remember the reason I dyed my hair blonde was because I was like, I'm so boring. I just have brown eyes, I have brown hair, brown skin, like that's literally it. And yeah, so I need a little change, but now I'm kind of loving the all brunette. I feel like, at least when it's done and styled like with curls like a blowout, I feel like it makes me look older when I have my hair and makeup done like that, and that is something that I like. And I don't know, I just honestly felt like I needed a change. I kind of just wanted something new, and so that's what I did. Moving on to the more juicy stuff, let's talk about college. Overall, okay, how would I rate my college? 1 through 10, I would say my experience was either a 6 or a 6.5. It was above average because it was, for the most part, good, but it was still definitely a tough transition, and it still definitely had its moments. Starting off, the transition was very difficult. I remember the night before I moved in, I was crying, sobbing in my bed, and so I went to my mom and dad's bedroom and I crawled into bed with my mom and was like, I don't want to go to college. And yeah, so that happened. I was kind of crying, sobbing. One thing about me is that I am very much a nostalgic person. Like, that is my, honestly, I think it's an issue. Like, I reminisce way too much. I will literally think about when me, my brother, and my sister were like all kids, and like how Christmas was so magical, and like how we were just all really close and things weren't complicated because we weren't grown and we were all in elementary school, and like it was just fun and things were lighthearted. I reminisce so much that it's not good. I reminisce about like me and my friends, and we were all like super duper close, and we all had a ton of classes together, and it was just that, like, we had our friend group and like we were living our best life all together. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's a problem. I really do reminisce to a fault because I get sad about the fact that things have changed and things aren't the way that they used to be. And change, I don't want to say I'm not good with change, because that really is like a really bad problem. Like, life is change, so you kind of have to be good with it. But I am uncomfortable with change. But long story short, leading up to college, I was very sad because I knew that everything was changing. None of my best friends were going to my college. None of my friends as a whole, like not even people that I really went to school with. Okay, there are 2 girls that I went to school with that go to NC State with me as well. But not even like my school friends really were going to college. Like, I really felt like I was going all by myself. That was gut-wrenching, because I am definitely the type of person where I will have 2, 3, 4 best friends, and then like that's it. I'll stick with it. I want you to be my best friends for the rest of my life. Like, I only need a small circle. And so I knew going to college that that would be completely different, and that would cease to exist pretty much. I would not have that small, tight circle that I knew and loved. And so that was extremely difficult for me, going to college and feeling as though like I really had no one. Like, I knew a few people from my school / area that went to NC State and that were at my college, but it was not like, I don't know, it's not like I could lean on them. It's not as though like we became best friends. And so even though like I did know of people at my college, it still felt as though I was extremely alone, which is something that I would say I haven't really experienced before. Like, I really have had these same best friends for a long amount of time. In general, I have had the same best friends for a really long time, and my best friends too have also came to me naturally. Like, I didn't go out of my way to make those friends. It's almost as if like we all just found each other at the same time and it was like perfect and magical and stuff like that. So that was something that was really difficult, was not having those go-to friends, and honestly like having no friends. Like, I will be blunt and say I would say at least for, I know for sure the first month, but I want to say even longer than that. I did not have any friends for the first month of college. I want to say probably first month and a half, I would say. I didn't really have any friends. My roommate, I still talked to her and we interacted a lot. I would say maybe she could be counted as a friend. If I do count her as a friend, we weren't very close. But friend-wise, I would say for the first month of college, I didn't have any friends. Probably for the first month and a half, I would say. So that was extremely, extremely difficult. I am definitely an introverted person. All in all, it was really difficult to go to a school and not have any friends, to have to kind of switch my demeanor to where, as like, you know, as I said earlier, like I kind of like just had those friends and we were all just put into each other's life by God, and it was amazing and magical. Whereas now, like, I had to go out of my way to actually make friends. And I know everyone has to do that. I'm not saying all this as like a pity party. I'm just saying what my experience was like. But yeah, so it was really, really difficult. It was also difficult, of course, to see my friends and their lives completely changing. And like, it's such a unique experience to be growing up and to see like your friends living their separate lives, and for you to be living your separate life as well. Like, having the realization that like you don't know what's going on in your friends' lives anymore. You don't know the things that they're going through. They don't know the things that you're going through anymore, just because you know, you're not in the same classes anymore. You're not together all the time. I feel like friendship was the #1 thing that I struggled with in the first semester when it comes to as a whole, but also just like transitioning all of it. I will say that like going from having a really close-knit circle to not really having any friends was extremely difficult. And that goes into my next point of college, is that like I feel as though I really learned to be on my own this semester. Like, I will be honest and say like 90% of my meals this entire semester, like not even the first month when I didn't have friends, but 90% of my meals this semester were completely by myself. Like, other than the 2 days a week I would eat meals with my roommate, and then sometimes like different things would come up later in the semester with friends that I did make where we would have lunch or something together like that. But I would say 90%, if not 95% of my meals this entire semester was me eating alone. And no one wants to do that, but I will say it is something I kind of grew adjusted to. I probably look like such a loser, but I would literally like bring my book. I would bring my book to the dining hall and read and eat by myself. And although that is definitely not something I would say that people strive for, no one really is like, oh, I want to eat alone. Like, definitely not something that I strive for. But I feel like, I don't know, I just grew accustomed to it, and it was like just part of my life then. So yes, all of that to say, loneliness was definitely a huge part of this semester. I would say it was extremely overwhelming in the first half of the semester, obviously when I was still transitioning and like really had first got there. That definitely was a huge part of my life and a huge part of like my everyday, just thinking about the fact, like I would tell my boyfriend all the time on FaceTime, oh my gosh, I literally have no friends, Adrian, like I had absolutely no one up here. Like I would tell him, like, if I did not go out of my way to talk to people, I felt as though like I would talk to absolutely no one. If I did not go out of my way to talk to my roommate or talk to people in my class or just interactions with the people at the dining hall, I felt as though I would have zero interaction with people sometimes. And that is honestly like kind of sad. I'm definitely not trying to be all Debbie Downer, but I'm just being honest about my experience. That is one thing that was tough. I feel like college, for a lot of people, like, or at least I will say what we see on social media is that like people go to college, they live their best life, they're going to parties, they are making so many new friends, they're going to all these games, they are genuinely like living their best life. I'll say two things. One, I don't think I completely explored that part of college, and two, that was just also as a whole not my experience. For one, like I am not a party person. Like you would not catch me dead at a frat party. Like I could never. That is like my worst nightmare. Like being at a frat party, being surrounded by drunk college guys, like all of that is like genuinely my worst nightmare. Like you just could not catch me there. I'm not that type of person. Yeah, so for one, I didn't dabble in that side of college, and I won't be dabbling in that side of college. But also like just as a whole, like I'm being honest about the fact that that was not my experience, and I'm sure that eventually I will get there. I did go to some games, and obviously I did make some friends, but I am just being honest about the fact that my reality for college, at least, is not the cultivated, super aesthetic, exciting, outgoing side of college that you typically see on Instagram and on TikTok and different things like that. So yeah, I honestly don't know if that whole portion made sense. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but I just really wanted to make a video of me talking and doing my makeup about college. So yeah, that's the loneliness portion. Let me think, where do we want to go from here? Let me conclude with this about the friendship portion. I did end up making some friends this semester, believe it or not. I know after saying all of that, I actually did make a few friends. I started going to a church in my area called Providence, and it absolutely changed my life for the better because they have life groups, so small Bible study groups that get together each week. And being in that more cozy, smaller setting was amazing for me because that really is just the type of setting that I thrive in. Like I am just the type of person, I much prefer being around 5 to 6 people that you're close and honest and vulnerable with, rather than being in a crowd of like 50 people. Like that is just my type of setting. I much prefer smaller settings like that. Having a life group really just like turned my semester around. I honestly don't remember when I first started getting together with the life group. I want to say, I think maybe after my birthday in October. So kind of around midterm area, kind of around the middle of the semester, I started going to the life group, and it just absolutely changed my life. Like I have told the group this a few times, and I honestly don't think they'll ever understand the extent to which like they really did save my semester. And it's just like incredible. Like I just went there. For one, it was amazing for the friendship, but it was also amazing for the fact that like I was getting together with these women of God. Like not only was I making friends, but I was doing so in like a godly manner, and like we genuinely, like all of our conversations at the end of the day were about God and like circled back to Him. And so it was just like, it really was life-changing. Like it was as if my semester kind of like flipped around. Like it started off with obviously me being like super upset about the fact that I didn't have any friends and I was lonely, and like my college experience was not like that of what you see on social media and stuff like that. And then I met these girls, and like they just changed my life, like genuinely. They were so welcoming to me, so funny and outgoing. It genuinely, like, oh my gosh, I prayed so hard to God. Like literally from the beginning of the semester, I was like, God, I'm begging you to just please give me like godly female friendships. Like God, I need friends. Like I'm fighting for my life right now. Like can you please help me out here? And He did exactly that through this life group. And it's just like, I can't even begin to describe it. It is like, it's so fulfilling to be around them. It is so open and honest and vulnerable. There's no judging. There's no like gossiping. Like, it is straight up like complete all positivity with them. And like, they just really did change my life. And so I know that for the most part of talking about friendships, I've talked about the negative side, and that, you know, I was super lonely in the beginning and different things like that. But I want to end it with saying that these girls have completely changed my life. Actually, like, love them to death. And oh my gosh, like, sometimes when we're hanging out, like, it literally makes me emotional to think about it. Like, I have said to them before, like, oh my gosh, you have no idea how much you guys mean to me. But like, literally just hanging out with them, sometimes it's almost like I take a step back and I'm like, wow, like, God is so good to me to have put these people in my life. Like, it literally makes me emotional. I'm such a crybaby when I think about it, but it's just like, wow, thank you, God, for being so good to me. Like, how could I have ever not trusted that you wouldn't have a plan for me? Or how could I have ever not had faith in you to know that you would give me, that you would answer my prayer, that you would give me godly female friendships? So, I don't know, that was a little tangent, but all that to say, like, I just love them so much. And all of the loneliness, the whole entire uncomfortable month and a half of being by myself and like being lonely, almost like doesn't even matter. Like, I can't even think about it now, because now I have these wonderful girls and they have changed my life for the better and impacted me in such a beautiful and wonderful way. So yeah, I love them and they're pretty great. And I also want to give a shout out to my boo thing, Kaylee. She is my friend from back home and she is amazing. She is my friend that I have the strongest of a connection with now that we have gone to college, like from back home, like my non-college friends. And yeah, she's amazing, and we still text like literally most days and send each other TikToks and stuff like that. And I couldn't talk about friends without talking about Kaylee, but I just really appreciate the fact that she still like has been one constant in my life, like since before college, other than my boyfriend Adrian, of course, and like my family and stuff like that. She is the other thing that has been constant throughout this whole process. And yeah, she's just amazing and I love her so much, and I'm so grateful for our friendship as well. Okay, that was a mouthful. Now I literally got through like half my makeup just talking about friendships. Okay, let me think. What else do we want to talk about with college? I honestly should have had like an outline for this video, but I didn't. I just picked up the camera and started doing my makeup. So let's talk about relationship things. So obviously I am in a relationship and my boyfriend is younger than me, so he is still from the general area of where I'm from. Before I moved to college, he's like from a town over, but still like from the general area of the fact that he's here and I'm up there. It is about an hour and a half for us of distance, so definitely not like super long distance, but still not something where I see him weekly. We are doing amazing. I will say that I am very blessed because my boyfriend is super patient and super, honestly, just amazing all around. Like, there is nothing else to say other than the fact that he is so great. I will say he probably is one of the most constant things throughout like college that I've really had to rely on. Like, honestly, especially in the beginning, at times, like when everyone was adjusting to college and even Kaylee, like, who was still my best friend during that time, when she was still adjusting to college and like life was still crazy at the beginning of the semester and stuff like that, Adrian, my boyfriend, like, wow, I just really leaned on him so much, I feel like, and I just relied on him so much in a healthy way. But yeah, like, I just think about it now and it was like, oh my gosh, like, I tell him sometimes and I'm like, I am so incredibly grateful for you, just because, like, gosh, like, where do I even start? I can't even describe it. Like, he really is my best friend, and I am just so incredibly grateful for the fact that, like, throughout college and throughout all that loneliness, like, I still had him, and I would literally come and complain to him and like be a baby to him about all this stuff about how I was like literally so daggone lonely. I didn't have any friends, and like he was my only friend, and he's a guy, and like obviously I want girlfriends and I want physical friends to hang out with throughout the week. But yeah, he was really extremely patient with me, and I am incredibly grateful for that. Adrian was just like, yeah, other than my family, Adrian was like one of the main constants that really helped me get through this whole thing, because he would just remind me, you know, like, this is only temporary. This isn't gonna last forever. Like, it's okay, you're fine. And so, yeah, as for relationship things, it is going amazing, and he is an angel sent from heaven. He's really great. What else is there to say? I mean, when the man is perfect, like, you can't say anything else other than that. He is perfect. Yeah. But yeah, relationship has been great. Long distance definitely was tricky in the beginning. Like, it definitely has its moments where it's like, oh my gosh, I hate this so much. I literally just want to go home and see him. Like when the 3 weeks are up, it's like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Like, can I come home? Like, I'm ready to see you. It's definitely tough at times. But I will say with me and Adrian, we always knew that long distance would be a thing for us. Like, I'm obviously older than him, and I knew I was going off for college. I knew I was going to NC State. And so I told him from the very start, like, I told him from the beginning, basically a year ago, that, like, I'm going to end up going to college. And so I think we've always had that in our mind, that I'm going to be going off, and, like, that's just the reality, that I will be going away. I think that is one thing that was helpful, is the fact that he knew from the beginning that this was the reality. And so he always knew of this. It wasn't as though it was, like, some thing that suddenly happened or something that was surprising. I will also say that me and Adrian were dating for maybe like 8 months. I want to say me and Adrian were dating like maybe 6 or 8 months before, 8 months, because I left in August. So me and Adrian were dating for 8 months before I went off to college and we had to do long distance. And that is another thing that I think was really helpful, because we were able to build trust then. Like, before I went off, I was able to really get to know him. He was able to get to know me. We were able to work out how we communicate. We were able to learn to trust each other. And so having that foundation of those 8 months before I went to college was another thing that was just incredibly helpful, because it kind of laid the solid foundation. And then once I went to college, like, we already had that. Said all that to say, that is one thing that helped. Also, honestly, just communication. One thing that is incredible about Adrian is that he, like, this is one of the first things that I noticed about him, is that he is just really, really incredible at communicating. And, like, I feel like he's made me better in that since our relationship. Yeah, he's just really good at communicating, and so that's a incredible perk and makes it easier for us because he is able to communicate effectively. So yep, that's one great thing. Obviously, everyone says communication is key to an amazing relationship, but it really is. Like, it really is. And then obviously, I should have said this first, but the main thing that has kept us going strong during long distance is the fact that we are believers and we have faith. Our faith and our trust is completely put in God. And at the end of the day, I pray for our relationship so much, and I ask God to just help us, to give us strength, to help us to be faithful, to be loving, to be kind, to be honest, just like Jesus was. At the end of the day, that is one of the main things that I pray for, and that is, I know, like, the number one thing that has kept us together is the fact that we have a Savior who is on our side. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Put your trust in Jesus. I don't know if anyone cares about any, like, long distance relationship tips, but if I had any, I would say honesty. I really do feel like if you're in a relationship for the long run, you have to have transparency. If I'm feeling bad, I'll tell Adrian. If this bothered me, what Adrian did, I'll tell him. If this is going wrong, I'll tell him. If I did something to upset him, he'll tell me. And, like, honestly, at the end of the day, other than God and praying and, like, of course, okay, reword that. First tip, put your faith in God, pray to him, ask for help, read your Bible. That's the first tip. Second tip that I should have stated is the honesty and, you know, like, being open and honest with each other. But first and foremost, turn to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Love you, Jesus. So let's think, what other pillars do I want to talk about? We talked about friendship, we talked about long distance. Okay, let's talk about a little channel update. This is not dealing with college, but I do want to talk about this a little bit. So I have always wanted to be this amazing YouTuber, you know, like, has super produced videos and does all this thing and has incredible editing. And, like, I feel like that's one thing that has always hindered me from putting out a lot of content, is the fact that I always think, well, I don't have this together, I don't know what kind of editing I want to do yet, I don't know what kind of style of video I want to do. And it's like, girl, just pick up the camera and just make videos. And I think that, like, that's one thing I want to focus on, like, literally just doing that, picking up the camera, doing what I do best, makeup, talking, vlogs, different things like that, and being more casual about it. I feel as though I put too much focus on making these YouTube videos like a production, and it's like, it doesn't have to be that. Just be honest, just pick up the camera and just get a vlog up. Like, that's all that matters, get a video up. And so that's kind of the update for the channel that I wanted to give. Instead of making these super produced things that I haven't made. Obviously, look at my channel and you won't see a super produced YouTube channel. I'm just saying that's, like, the goal that I had, and I feel like that's one thing that kept me from making a lot of YouTube videos, is because I was always trying to think and plan about all these huge production videos that I wanted. But now I have just accepted the fact that, like, this is the style I want to do. I want to do vlogs, I just want to talk to the camera, I want to give you updates, I want to do my makeup, and so that's exactly just what I plan on doing. I want to vlog more this break, but I'm not going to make any promises because look at my channel history and you'll see that I do not at all upload frequently. It honestly is just when I get the creative spark. So yeah, I do hope, I'm not gonna say I plan on it, but I do hope to film more videos over this break. But as of right now, we're just gonna be happy with this one. Okay, also, one thing that I have been thinking about a lot recently is the fact that like, I feel like I need a new hobby. Like, obviously during high school and all the time before, other than reading and makeup and YouTube, I would say my main hobby was like soccer, of course. Like, love that to death. And although I'm obviously not on a team anymore because I'm in college, I do work out now. I won't say that's my hobby because it's like, it's something I do frequently, like I do it routinely, but it's not something I super love. I work out because I want to keep my body healthy and I want to be in shape, but it's not something that I'm like crazy passionate about. It's more of like a routine thing that I do because I know I need to do it. But I want another hobby that I really enjoy. Reading is definitely my #1 hobby, like still going strong. Absolutely love reading. If you have any fantasy book recs or romance, let me know because your girl needs some. I've gone through my whole collection and I've literally reread like so many of my books, so I need some new stuff. So I still read, but I feel like I've lost the hobby of soccer, and so I need something else. So I'm low-key thinking of picking up like crocheting. I think that would be really fun. I originally was gonna do like for example, cooking or baking would be really fun, but I live in a dorm, so that's not feasible. I thought about sewing, but I just gave away my sewing machine to my grandma like a few months ago, which I really regret now. And I don't want to ask for it back, and I don't want to buy a sewing machine yet, just because those are kind of expensive, and like, I don't want to jump too far into that. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to take up crocheting, and I think that would be like super cute. Like, I can make all my friends stuff. I can like make super cute Hello Kitty things. Like, I don't know, I just think that would be like super duper fun. If you crochet and you have any tips at all, any supplies, any videos that you watch, any creators, like literally anything at all, please let me know because I know nothing about crocheting, and one of my things on my to-do list today is literally to watch YouTube videos about crocheting. But I really would prefer to make blankets. Like, I watched one of the creators that I watched today. I didn't even know she crocheted, but I literally just saw on her Instagram story that she made this really huge braided blanket, and I was like, okay, wow, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do like, I would love to do blankets, and different things like that. I think that would be really fun, like beanies, stuff like that. I do have my guitar, and I honestly really do need to pick that back up. So I think I'm going to look into that. I feel like I could take that to college with me, but I don't know, like it just seems like it would be a little bit more difficult to do that in college. I feel like I need to start smaller. Like, taking up a whole instrument seems a little bit big to me. Like, seems like a really daunting task. I do want to learn that eventually. I do feel as though everyone should learn an instrument, and I want to learn an instrument and grow my intellect, so I really do want to learn to play guitar. But as of right now, I think I'm going to start with crocheting. I'm almost done with my makeup. I've gotten back on my TikTok grind. Dude, I just want PR so bad. Like, at the end of the day, your girl wants to be sent free makeup. Like, please, like, I just want free makeup. So yeah, that's the goal. So this was honestly really fun. Like, I'm filming this at like 12 something, I believe. All my family are at school because they're not on break yet. All my family are at school. I have the whole house to myself. I'm just doing my makeup. I have a candle lit. It smells like Christmas. Like, life is good, babe. Life is good. I'm honestly like super happy with this video. I don't know what it is, but like, I'm feeling so good about this. Like, I will say one thing that is bad is the editing process takes forever, dude. Oh my gosh. Like, I honestly feel like that's the number one thing. If I had an editor, I would have videos out like every other day. But the fact that like editing takes so long, like, it's so discouraging for me. It really is. But yeah, so I'm pretty much done with makeup. Let me just put on a little lippy and then get a thumbnail, and then I'll be done for my TikTok. As I was saying, I'm recording more TikToks now, and so I'm getting ready to film a little TikTok, a little vertical content. She's a content creator or whatever. Cringe, I know, whatevs. But yeah, so the TikTok video I'm gonna make today is how you can use eyeshadow as lip liner. This is literally my one of my #1 hacks. Like, I've owned maybe 3 lip liners, and it's all because I get them for free through my Ipsy package. Like, never in my life, I think maybe once have I bought a lip liner, but this palette right here, this bad boy, this neutral, like, this is my lip liner. I use this little tiny brush. For some reason it doesn't want to focus, but I use this really, really tiny brush that kind of looks like a paintbrush. I just dip straight into a eyeshadow color and just line my lips. And the amazing thing is that, dude, eyeshadow literally lasts forever. So if you find a lip liner shade in this, like, you'll never run out of it. I honestly don't really have any other plans for the day. I do need to do a workout, and I had that on my to-do list, but I honestly think I'm going to take it off because I really, like, gosh, I just don't feel like it. Like, one thing I will say about going to college, my college has a really nice gym, which is amazing because, like, that would kind of motivate me, like, get ready, get dressed, go to the gym. But, like, having to do it at home, it just doesn't motivate me. I put on a little dark fall-esque lip liner, and I honestly fill in most of my lips just to help with the blend. And now I'm looking for a nude lipstick. Honestly, I don't think I have anything nude. I do have this nude lip gloss. I'm just going to apply this to the middle. Okay, well guys, that is my video. I really hope that you enjoyed this little chit chat get ready with me. I know that my talk was literally all over the place. I really should have written down like bullet points, but your girl did not do that. So sorry about that. Honestly, like, maybe I'll do another talk about college if I think of other things I want to talk about. But that was just the main things that I wanted to mention. I honestly really love how this makeup turned out. Let me zoom you guys in. Like, wow, she's really cute. Definitely fall-esque. But yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok. I will put them right here. If you want to see more makeup content, definitely go to my TikTok. And if you just want to see pictures of this gorgeous face, just follow me on Instagram. But anyway, yeah, so I love you guys. And hopefully I will have another video for you guys within the next few weeks. Love ya. Mwah.